So glad that you can join me here today. 217, lesson 189, excerpts from pages 567, 68, and the theme for many pages and lessons to come: what does it mean to trust and completely surrender? And with that said, for those who haven't been to any of these segments that I'm hoping to achieve, with the exception of any breaks, to make 2 videos into 1 segment or other like that. It's 319, and my name is Reverend Maria Arvanitides, and I'm so honored to have you share this moment with your presence. And shall we begin? Sounds good. Take a few deep breaths in and feel it going down and anchoring into the heart space, and breathe out. And take all of this reality I share with you through my environment through your screen and holographic field. And you can opt to have your eyes closed or open for this. This is an audio-visual version of the novel called TheSovereignLight, named after my ministry, A Course in Metaphysical Spirituality. And if you could just continue breathing and feeling in to focus on this present moment, here and now, not what you're going to do tomorrow or an hour from now, or what happened before. Just take this moment to clear the space all around you and open this up and surrender into trusting, coming home to your center, and feel out your breathing. This is how you're able to leverage at what level you might be trusting and surrendering at. So where are you feeling the restrictions when you're breathing in? And just breathe out until you're able to trust enough to go deeper. And feel it coming from the soles of your feet, connected to the earth. And this energy that you're breathing in all the way to the heart space, and vibrate all this out, this resonance. You can be sitting down as long as you have your back straight through all of this. And let's begin to open this theme that we're going to be further expanding on throughout the many lessons to come and days to come. So what does it mean to trust and surrender for you? You might want to write and make some notes down afterwards, and then we can share what aspects, or rather perspectives, that might have helped you to shift from these many reads into a different perception. So, what does it mean to trust and surrender? When all the grievances are gone, eventually the self can move out of the cause and effect state of being and to evolve from having to forgive. Now, you could take that cause and do something with it and make things happen, manifest with it as well. In this case, we are letting go of grievances and all the stuck energy that's holding us down into resistant patterns of lower density that we might want to transmute. And with that said, the ability to surrender and trust in our breathing so that we may ascend. It's not just about waking up. I mean, you can still feel really light hearted by doing this. Either way you do it, back or forth, or whichever way you might want to start on it. It works either way, forward or backward, as long as you're putting it into motion. There is no real linear concept to this. So, trust. Trust in the abundance of life. And let go of the ego's limitations. This false evidence appearing as real. And the acronyms for that is fear. Okay. And in the mind of the self and the many prison bars of belief systems that were created in its need for safety. So what belief systems, thoughts that travel through your mind so many times that have you into these opinions of believing, whether it be through your experience or others? So by removing its persona, the self can embrace life like a child and with complete surrendered trust. When in observation, witness all the masks fall off and melt away, replaces having to defend with proof and back onto these reflections. So, to accept the world from having to change its many imperfections and see it as the witness to the many perfections in their own right to exist. And in truth, this is where respect comes in, and the many different flavors that make up respect and reverence. So, are you finding yourself to be really lucky to be here? What does luck mean for you? Is it not coming home to your alignment and allowing everything to synergistically open up for you in perfect timing? Alignment comes from the surrender and trust to life and brings success of accomplishment and abundance, or the cutting off from them through opposing life. Accept and allow for these abilities to have all the resources the self will need, and at any given moment to sustain it in its motion. And if I fall back right into this beautiful, loving sunflower patch. It's got my back, honestly. I've already bonded with it. And so, from this consciousness of self-discovery, the motion of abundant expression to permeate all life can be received. And so, this from here on might be a little different, but this is the intro, and for this is going to get you thinking into this perspective that we are going to be studying further, rather than just the simple affirmations. And if you want to get into an affirmation, I mean, I can come up with one right now. Just say to yourself, I love you, and your name. And how does that feel? Where do you feel resistance? Say again to yourself, I love you, and your name, right after that. How does it feel? And so, that's not in the book. So it's just an example. What does it mean to trust and surrender? When the self is centered and properly aligned, the field of oneness can move through it without resistance. Although there is nothing to accomplish nor achieve within the beingness of allowing to receive. The only way to keep receiving is through releasing and letting go. The idea is not to hang on nor dwell on things for too long, because that can take the self out and from the present moment, known as timelessness. And so, movement is a part of life because the unfoldment of awareness, that is consciousness, takes place in the form of movement. It was discussed before about this concept of receiving to also be the same as giving. Just feel the inspiration from the joy it brings to passion outward through expression. Allow for this need of doing and unfold into the beingness with alternating emphasis to its doing aspects. And so the purpose for today and onward is, as we scratch the surface of what it means to trust and surrender, this purpose is in complete surrender to its greater self, that it may find peace. And with this sermon, may you take it in and absorb it and sink in to it wisely through the feeling of how it makes you feel, how it opens you up to further expansion. And you can start to slowly come around if you have your eyes closed, and blink your eyes open to your surroundings, up close and near and far and at a distance, in your foreground and background and everything you set out to do for the day. And just keep reminding yourself, or at least thinking it, I love you and your name. And that from higher self to you, and know that God is a loving God. Unlike anything ever before, to feel the fear of God is to be in falsehood of the knowing of God. And so, with that said, just know and step right into this empowerment of being loved. And remind yourself often by saying it or whispering it to yourself, this affirmation, and know that it's directly coming from the mouth of God. And see how it might change you. And until next time, thank you so very much